Jared Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Teo Torres. We got good news rain-wise.
We do. We finally have some rain to talk about. It's been a while. Dirk Verdorn is in for Tamara this morning, taking a look at what is in the forecast.
Yeah, we do have dry conditions, though they're going to be with us today and for the next several days. As we get into the weekend, that's when we start to see those changes with the chance for some rain moving in. So what to expect today? Well, this morning we're off to a clear start, and that means more patchy frost and temperatures in the mid to low 30s. So we will have some areas below freezing and mostly sunny skies this afternoon, and that's going to allow temperatures to warm into the low 60s. Again, yesterday we got up to 61 degrees. That wasn't bad at all. We should get at least that warmer, if not even a little bit warmer as we go through the day. Light winds are going to stay with us. Don't expect much in the way of wind like we saw yesterday, where some temperatures got close to 70 degrees with that north wind. Temperatures right now ranging, though, look at that, 32 degrees. We're down to freezing in Modesto. We're in the mid 30s in Stockton as well as Yuba City, 40 degrees in Fairfield, 37 in Auburn, and 14 degrees currently at Lake Tahoe. Visibility down to about a quarter of a mile in Truckee. You got that fog in the Truckee Basin, also down to about 3/4 of a mile in Modesto. So we do have some patchy areas of fog. It's a bit thicker as you make your way towards the Bay Area, where there is a dense fog advisory up until about 8 a.m. this morning, with visibilities at or below a quarter of a mile expected. So if you're traveling to the Bay Area, be aware of that. 12-hour forecast. Again, steadily warming under sunny skies this afternoon. Temperatures will be peaking in the low 60s with a forecast high in downtown Sacramento of about 62 degrees. So weather's looking good, but how's the traffic looking this morning? For that, we turn to Brian Hickey.
Well, for our ride out across the causeway, pretty slow right now. In fact, I can see here these flashing lights. That's a tow truck that just arrived onto the causeway just east of Childs. This is for an overturned vehicle blocking the number 3 lane. It's on its roof, and so cars are having to merge around it. And by the time they get to Childs, you're back underway with 3 lanes again. But we are seeing a pretty good backup there from the causeway back into West Sacramento, on not only on Interstate 80 but also on Highway 50. So just watch the tow truck arrive there. Hopefully they can get that vehicle cleared from the lane soon, with our commute starting to heat up there. Highway 50, no problems out of Folsom. Interstate 80 from Rockland, Roseville, Highway 65 area, all looking good there. 5 and 99, no delays so far this morning as well on that northbound ride for those of you coming out of Elk Grove. Heading through Stockton, pretty quiet there as well. No incidents to report here. And if you're heading through the Tracy area, cross 205, you can expect a 26-minute ride there. Westbound 580, 29 minutes, and 99 looking good between Modesto and Manteca. As you saw on the map, travel times here in the Sacramento area: Highway 50, a 10-minute ride, 80 Roseville to the split, 9 minutes, I-5, 11 minutes, and 99 Elk Grove to Highway 12, 12 minutes. And we'll let you know just as soon as they get that vehicle cleared. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Well, happening today, dozens of Nevada County residents expected to turn out for a vote on reactivating a gold mine.
The Idaho Maryland mine is located just outside of Grass Valley, and the idea of bringing mining back has been really controversial. KCRA3's Melanie Wingo is live in Nevada City, where the supervisors will be talking about this today.
Today's Board of Supervisors meeting is considered to be a special one, and we do expect a lot of people to be here in attendance. There are strong community opinions about the possibility of gold mining operations coming back online at the Idaho Maryland mine, which has been inactive since its closure in the mid-1950s. According to Nevada County, planners at the Rise Grass Valley Company first submitted an application for a project to resume those gold mining operations at the mine in 2019. And since that time, this proposal has proceeded through various steps within the county. People opposed to the proposal say that gold mining should be left in Grass Valley's past, and that they're concerned about what resuming operations would do to the town of Grass Valley and the environment. The Rise Grass Valley Company, however, says bringing gold mining back would be great for the local economy, and it would even create jobs here. But today, the county is set to share more about its decision on Rise Grass Valley's petition for what's called vested rights to conduct mining operations at the Idaho Maryland mine. And according to the county's website, it's going to explain today that, for starters, mining operations on the property for which Rise Grass Valley is seeking vested rights were abandoned as early as 1956, and that also neither Rise Grass Valley nor any other party has a vested right to mine on that property. So all of this is going to be discussed by the county planners. Rise Grass Valley community input is expected to be accepted today at the meeting. So lots of people here, lots of opinions on this very contentious issue. Reporting live in Nevada City this morning, Melanie Wingo, KCRA 3 News.
And that meeting is set to get underway at 9. The county says that if necessary, the hearing could be continued into tomorrow so that everybody can be heard.
Well, Sacramento City manager is getting another raise. Council approved it last night, along with more time off, despite some objections by even the mayor.
KCRA3's Mike DeSalle joining us now with a look at the new deal.
Yeah, now Sacramento City manager, he is considered one of the state's highest paid city managers according to the state's controller's office. Well, now that pay increasing again, as is his paid time off. Now take a look, because under the state's code of regulations, the city council required to take a public vote on a new pay rate in order to be transparent and available to the public to see. So here's the details. Last night, the city council voted to give city manager Howard Jan a 5% pay increase, bringing his yearly income to over $420,000 a year. For perspective, when he took over as city manager in 2017, his starting pay was $282,000 a year. But while city council leaders did express support for this latest pay raise, saying it was deserved, some, like the mayor, did question the additional time off granted, and that's because in addition to his current pay, Chan was also granted an additional 240 hours, or an additional 6 weeks of paid leave. And keep in mind, this latest pay bump comes after last year's 7.5% pay increase. Live outside Sacramento City Hall, Mike DeSalle, KCRA 3 News.
Thank you, Mike. Well, the council's vote also included pay increases for the city attorney, auditor, treasurer, clerk, and director of public accountability.
Well, the search is on this morning for 2 people who stole more than 30 guns from the Turlock Gun Show. It happened early Sunday morning before the second day of the show at the Stanislaus County Fairgrounds. Turlock police say that 33 guns were stolen from one vendor. The thieves entered the event center building through a bathroom window at around 4:30 in the morning, then confronted 2 unarmed security guards. Police found a ski mask outside, and they have sent that in for DNA testing. Information about the guns also was sent to a statewide database for licensed dealers.
They all have been entered into the AFS system, the automated firearm system. So if anyone were to be caught with them, it would be linked to this case.
Authorities say there was no surveillance footage of the incident and that the only description of the thieves is that they are around 6 feet tall.
Well, Sacramento police went to Chicago to arrest a second suspect in a local shooting. Officers arrested 40-year-old Angel Moore yesterday. Here's her booking photo from the Cook County Sheriff's Office in Illinois. They say she was involved in a shooting of 2 men near a gas station in Del Paso Heights on November 8th. One of the victims died. Detectives haven't disclosed the role she's suspected of playing in the shooting. Now, police arrested another suspect they believe is involved, 32-year-old Diamond Moore, 2 weeks ago in Reno. Now, both suspects share the same last name, but police have not confirmed if they are related. Sacramento police also arrested a woman accused of attacking an 80-year-old woman at Arden Fair Mall. Police announced the arrest of 28-year-old Elise Markham after what they call an extensive operation. 2 weeks ago, police say Markham attacked Reina Mayorga in what the family told KCRA3 was an unprovoked attack. Mayorga was bruised in the attack but was not hospitalized. Markham's now facing charges of causing harm to an elderly adult.
Meanwhile, the Streets of London pub in West Sacramento is open again after a break-in, and now the owner is thanking customers and the community for their support. Happened early Monday. The owner says that somebody broke a window and broke the cash register trying to get into the safe. They were unsuccessful but still caused quite a bit of damage. The business was forced to close Monday, but they were back open yesterday to support customers.
West Sac, Best Sac. This community is probably one of the most amazing communities I've ever been a part of, and they have truly shown support in taking care of me and been here supporting and texting and calling and making sure that I'm safe and okay.
An employee at a nearby sushi restaurant says that they also had a window broken early Monday. At this point, there is no word from West Sac police on finding somebody who might have done that.
New report released this morning highlighting just how rapidly enrollment is dropping in California school districts, and those losses are only expected to continue.
Mike Cherry's joining us now, taking a look at those numbers.
Yeah, so overall, the Public Policy Institute of California found that enrollment has fallen at nearly 3 out of 4 districts in the state. Now, enrollment fell by roughly 60,000 students just prior to the COVID pandemic. Then, During the pandemic, enrollment saw drops of 160,000 and 110,000 between 2020 and the spring of 2022. This is when homeschooling saw the biggest surge in enrollment. Now, in our area, the Sacramento region has seen overall enrollment grow in the past 10 years, but that trend is expected to come to an end, dropping more than 2% over the next 9 years. There is some positive news coming out of the Sierra region. It saw about a 10% decline among school districts from 2012 to 2022, but that region now projected to actually have an increase in enrollment by about 4% over the next 9 years, and that is larger than any other region in the state. Also, the PPIC points out that a drop in enrollment doesn't always mean school closures, but when they do occur, they're primarily at those with larger population of Black or low-income students. The organization is now calling on state education officials to outline how they plan on supporting districts who will see a loss in funding because of those declining numbers. Back to you.
Thank you, Mike.